Hello racing fans, and a warm welcome to Trackside, proudly brought to you by World Sports Betting. Bet with the best, bet with WSP, a leader in the fixed odds betting market and number one in the anti-post betting market. And World Sports Betting, what a weekend it was for our sponsor at Kenilworth. The World Sports Betting met. It looked to be just a fantastic race day by the visuals that were coming through. And congratulations on behalf of World Sports Betting to all the winners on the day. But I think a special mention to the winners of the feature races, the big ones. The sprint race, what a win from Bohica and the Aussies, taking the Gauteng Raider down to Cape Town and winning a superb race there. Captain's ransom, what more can we say about that superstar? She's an absolute superstar. What a ride, what a performance to get up and win the Mallorca Stakes. That was absolutely scintillating. She looked like she was going to run third all the way. Then at one stage she looked like she was definitely going to run second. And over the final 100 meters, wow, that turn of foot to get up and win, that was breathtaking, wasn't it? And then the main event, the World Sports Betting Cape meant what dreams are made of. Congratulations to everybody concerned with Comet Didang, a Vodacom Durban July winner, and now a World Sports Betting Cape Met winner. Michelle Ricks, Harold Crawford, Ashwin Reynolds, Clover Flay Stud, and of course Comet Didang. Just a superb performance and a great ride as well by Gavin Larina. And on behalf of World Sports Betting, congratulations again to everybody that made the event a success on the day. And we really look forward to next year's event, because you certainly can be built on what has been laid down with the foundation of the inauguration running of the World Sports Betting Met. First year they're sponsoring the event, and it can only go from strength to strength. Well, what's happening on this weekend show? Well, it's another big weekend for World Sports Betting. It's World Sports Betting Gauteng Guineas Day, and it promises to be a wonderful race meeting because there's some cracking good horses running, especially the 3-year-olds in the Fillies Guineas and the World Sports Betting Gauteng Guineas. Of course, the Fillies Guineas sponsored by Vilgebor's Drift. And it's going to be a great meeting at Turffontein. You expect sizable pools on the day as well. But for Trackside this weekend, let's go with our 4 horses to follow. And I've picked out 3 horses at Turffontein. That's our main race meeting, and just the 1 runner at Scottsville on Sunday. And these 3 horses at Turffontein, when they look the right horses in their respective fields, and hopefully they can arrive. So away we go with the 4 to follow, and we'll begin with possibly the best bet for the weekend. And she comes up in the Grade 2 Vilgebor's Drift Gauteng Fillies Guineas over 1600 meters. No prizes for guessing. We're going with the top one. She is a super talented filly. Her name is Desert Miracle. She will be priced up in the red. That I have no doubt of. Just her pure ability, the form she represents, and the opposition she takes on. And then you look at the best weighted column. She is well clear ahead of Rain in Holland. She showed her ability very early on in her career as a 2-year-old, where she was second in the South African Fillies Nursery. She then went on to win the Highveld Winter Stakes, and then she traveled down to Durban on Vodacom Durban July Day, and she absolutely thrashed the field. She made them look very, very ordinary in that Grade 2 Golden Slipper. And after that run, well, Mike de Kock decided, I'm going to give her a break, bring her out as a 3-year-old, her first run back this season. She was in a race of her own. She made it look very easy, winning by 9 lengths. Then took on the boys in the Graham Beck Stakes. She gave them a galloping lesson. And then last time out, traveled her down to Cape Town. Of course, it was the World Sports Betting Gauteng Fillies Guineas. She was deep in the red. She was confidently tipped on the show. And what happened on the day? Well, I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked at the time that she got beat. But now, that we know what Chansonet has gone on to do, I think, I'm more at ease with that result, because Chansonet has since come out to run 2 blinding seconds against what is the best filly in the country. She finished second in the Paddock Stakes, and we saw her finish second in the Mallorca last weekend as well. So, this Miracle is now back home. She's back against the locals, and you'd expect her to, win this and win this well. The first leg of the Triple Tiara, I think she's got her name written on the silverware. Number 1, Desert Miracle. And there is opposition in the race. There always is opposition in the race. But on what she represents in black and white, her reputation and what we know of her, I think she should win this and win this well. So that's going to be race 6, horse number 1, Desert Miracle. We then move along to race number 9, and this is a pinnacle over 2,400 meters. And I'm going for a horse that's been lucky on the show. We've tipped him a few times. He's delivered in a good way. His name is Shangane. He's likely raced as a 4-year-old, and he's trained by Paul Peter. He'll be ridden by his regular pilot, who is Warren Kennedy. And from his 5 starts to date, he's won 4 times. He's won over a mile, 2,200, 2,400, and 2,600 meters. His last start was a good win as well, which was the listed Java Stakes. In the stayers rank, I think he's the up-and-coming stayer in Gauteng on what he's shown to date. Each time, he just seems to raise his game to the next level. And it will be a true solid test of his ability against these tried and tested stayers on these weight terms. I just feel he'll be up to the challenge. He's got 54 kgs on his back, the son of soft falling rain. And yes, it's all about tactics, the way the race is going to run, how things are going to map out for the day. And there'll be a slight question mark over his fitness as well. He's been off for 98 days. But I think the Paul Peter stable, a professional outfit, would have done the necessary work back home. They would have looked at this race, and he's the type of horse that I just feel, I rated a 98. I'm hoping he can punch slightly above his weight against these horses, number 9, Shangani. So we're going to go for him again, and I mentioned he's been lucky on the show, so hopefully he can arrive one more time for Trackside, number 6, Shangani, in race number 9. And then race number 10, we go on to a pinnacle stakes over 1,400 meters. And this is a dream horse for the owner, Koos in Kala. He has already won 8 times from his 17 runs. And when you look at his profile and what he's taken on and the runs that he's had, even when he was not winning, running places, he's just a solid horse. His wins include the Grade 2 Hawaii Stakes, the Grade 2 Joburg Spring Challenge, and the manner in which he won last time out just made you stand up and take notice. Just the way he got the job done. He was so relaxed. He was loafing in front with Samanga Kumalo. Head was tucked into the chest and showing off as he came into the straight. And when he asked for to run by Samanga Kumalo, that was it. That was it. It was race over a long way out. He won very, very easily that day, MK's Pride. And 5 lengths back in that field was a horse called Sent by Destiny, who's come through to enhance the form and win. When you look at the best weighted column, it's just marginally topped by MK's Pride, ahead of horses like Bingwa, Chimichurri Run, Vaz Vicky, and Iki Guy. But the way this horse is going, the form that it's in, and the way he won last time out, I think he's a horse that's got a serious chance of falling up, and I'm hoping he can do so on Saturday. Race 10, horse number 1, MK's Pride. And then I mentioned that I just got the one horse for Sunday, and I had a look at the card, and this horse was a runner that I kept an eye on. He's not going to inspire much confidence when you first have a look at his form, and he hasn't won for a long time. 592 days, his form's in and out. His last start could be a concern as well because he was just eased out of the race by jockey Keegan DeMello. But I'm going to say that Mark Dixon would have taken him back home, just worked on the issues that were possibly found last time out, and I'm hoping that he comes back to the races on Sunday. A fit horse, his well-being will be 100%. His name is Alfonso Spagoni, and it's Dixon and DeMello that will team up here. At his best, he was a 75. He's dropped to a 60. Some of his better runs have been at Scottsville. In fact, some of his best form has been over the course and distance. 10 starts, a win, 3 seconds, a third, and 2 fourths. So he always seems to save his best when he races over 5 furlongs at Scottsville. And I'm hoping that this is the case on Sunday. What's weights he's got? He's got 53.5 on his back. And when I've chatted to Keegan DeMello a few times about this individual, he's always maintained that the ability is there, and he's of the firm opinion that 1,000 meters is his best trip. And I just feel back at possibly his favorite course, favorite distance, you could see him bounce back to his best year with a nice galloping weight of 53.5 on his back. So he's going to be our fourth horse to follow this weekend. Race 6, horse number 3, Alfonso Spagoni. So how are we going to play that treble? Well, this is the way it's going to go. It's basically a mash-up treble. By mash-up, I mean it's win place all together. So treble 1 will be race 6, Desert Miracle at Turfentine, into Shangane at Turfentine, into Alfonso Spagoni to place at Scottsville, and then treble 2 will be Desert Miracle at Turfentine, into MK's Pride at Turfentine, into Alfonso Spagoni to place at Scottsville. So we got the 2 wins in both, with the place horse being Alfonso Spagoni. But whatever the odds of Alfonso Spagoni, I'm suggesting that you can have an each way bet on him as well. I think he's the type of horse that could represent all the value there at Scottsville on Sunday. What else is happening on World Sports Betting? Well, I've just got my device on hand here, and I just want to have a look at the World Sports Betting menu, because there's lots of stuff that goes on a daily basis. Things chop and change, and when you go on to the horse racing on World Sports Betting, you click on horse racing, then you click on the country, and then when you look at the betting menu, well, there's lots happening, as I mentioned, but the one that catches my eye is pre-nominations for the July 2022. And basically, pre-nominations is that the operator of World Sports Betting, they put up horses that they think will be nominated for this year's Vodacom Durban July, giving you a chance to bet on your fancy early, take multiples, etc. into the horse, and maybe even back the horse on the head if you think that at this time of the year, which is some time away from the Vodacom Durban July, your horse could represent value. They're giving you a chance to get it at reasonable odds. So let's look at how they've priced that up. Comet Tidung is the top one for the Vodacom Durban July 2022 at this stage. The World Sports Betting's got that at 11-2. Then they got Linebacker at 7.5-1. Double Superlative, well, he ran an absolute blinder in the World Sports Betting Cape Met, the 3-year-old, and I think next he'll take his place in the Derby before he comes down for the KZN Champion season. And he is a very exciting horse, Double Superlative. He's at 10-1. Then Desert Miracle, well, we'll watch her this weekend. She's priced up at 14-1. Warrior at 15-1. Got the Green Light at 16-1. Goedspreid at 18-1. Sparkling Water at 18-1. And then some horses at 20. Jet Dark at 20-1. Well, I wonder why. I wonder what's the thinking behind that. Jet Dark at 20-1, Do It Again at 20-1, Rascallion at 20-1, Malmoose at 20-1, and then it's Bar 20-1, It's a lot of horses that the guys have put up. I think it's 60 horses plus. It's a big spread. Maybe one of your fancies is lurking down at the bottom, making his way up the ladder, trying to qualify for this year's Vodacom Durban July. And if you find a horse that you think is on the up, maybe a 3-year-old or a horse that's just finding his stride now, and you think that, you know what, this horse is at the bottom of the boards because he's nowhere near a rating of qualifying for this year's Vodacom Durban July, but there's still time and maybe he can climb the ladder and get into this year's race, well, you can go the places then. That could be the safe way to go. Or maybe even the wins if you're bold enough with your selection. But Committee Deng tops the Vodacom Durban July log. Pre-nominations anti-post at 11-2. Yes, guys, that is a wrap. As I mentioned, it's another big weekend for our sponsor, World Sports Betting. All the best to everybody over this weekend on World Sports Betting Gauteng Guineas weekend at the Big T at Turffontein, then Scottsville on Sunday. I trust that you're all going to have a wonderful weekend. On behalf of the sponsor, World Sports Betting, thanks to all the punters, but more importantly and more especially, thanks to you, the valued customer. Until next week, you take care. Salaniga.